Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of the Richbuddy Live Show. Broadcasting live from Southern California. We are coming at you at 1:34 a.m. That would be 4:34 a.m. Eastern Time. That's right. My usual Twilight stream. It's been a long time since I've streamed, actually, about a week. We were going to do a stream last night. Bud wanted to do a stream, but man, I couldn't do it. Kids wanted to watch a movie, and I watched a little bit with them, and ultimately I went to bed at 7:30. I can't stay up past 7:30, man. I'm done by 7:30. Imagine going to bed at 7:30, waking up at 1 o'clock. It is a bummer. Where did my lighter go? I can't start without the smoke. Oh, that's not good. There it is. Who do we got with us? Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Any of you guys ever heard of the Singer brand? You know, they make cars. The Singer Porsche is just something out of this world. But Singer, yeah. So, you know, they make watches too. Singer watches came about from Singer automobiles, and it was created from an encounter between Rob Dickinson, not the singer of Iron Maiden, but the founder of Singer Vehicle Design, and Marco Borrachino, a well-known Italian watch designer. So Marco Borrachino, Italian watch designer, and the guy who does the Singer Porsches, they decided, you know what, for whatever reason, they must have come in contact with each other and decided to put their heads together and come up with high-end watches, man. I mean, these aren't cheap. You guys seen these before? What's up, Hisham? How are you? Man, I'm not doing so hot, Hisham. I'm in bad shape, dude. So my sleep is not doing so hot. If you want to come on, buddy, I'll put an invite in the link. Oops, I was going to send you one. Feel free if you can. Let me see if I can throw it in the. Come on if you're free. It'd be fun. There you go. There's the link, buddy. You want to come on? We'll have a fun convo about Rolex and stuff. I was only going to spend a couple of minutes on this Singer brand. Let me get to the screen where we can describe the watch here. Yeah, Hisham, if you can join, come on, man. It'd be fun. Go on for a few minutes. So, this is an article in Watch Time magazine called Singer Reimagined launches 3 Fly Track Prime editions ahead of a regular release by Caleb Anderson. This was written yesterday. This past week, Geneva-based watchmaker Singer Reimagined unveiled the latest update to its catalog, the new Singer Flytrack, which comprises 3 different watches, each using the same base styling but differentiated by their use of different chronograph scales, telemeter, pulsometer, or tachometer. Each of the models will be exclusively limited to 10 pieces each for now, and they'll be known as the Singer Flytrack Prime Editions. The full regular release of this watch is anticipated in spring 2021. They're pretty nice looking. I'm not going to lie, they're absolutely stunning. They're beautiful. They're really beautiful. They really are. The one on the left almost looks like it. Honestly, the first 2 almost look like they're illuminated with like a LED light or something. But it's a mono pusher. You see that? It's a mono pusher. So stop start from the single mono pusher at 2 o'clock. You gotta love the scale. I mean, look at the scales on all 3 of them. How they're designed. They're quite unique. The dial, the scale configuration. They're very legible. And they're very attractive. Oh, and you see the number? That's actually gold, solid gold applied numeral indicating the number of the 10 watches it is, 1 through 10. And that these are all number 5s. See that? In the bottom right corner of the case. I would go as far to say that you want the number 10 because it'll show the most and it'll be the largest marquee with the most gold. So I would want the number 10 watch. Wouldn't you? Man, I gotta say these are all attractive. The first one on the left is the most attractive, followed by the second. What do you guys think? 43 millimeter cushion case. Titanium. I didn't see that part. I missed that part. Titanium. Finished in a matte style microblasting concept. Hand polished. Yeah, the gold digit hand applied directly to the watch case, indicating the number of each limited edition. Yeah. Very cool, right? Underneath the sapphire crystal. And we already saw, I already went through all this. Oh, the question. How much? The movement. Well, I didn't get to that. Agenhor. Yes. It's an Agenhor movement. You like that? By independent Swiss movement manufacturer. It's the 314 component caliber. Manually wound, 55-hour power reserve, 49 jewel count, one-handed chronograph, operated by monopusher, flyback and zero reset function, excellent finishing, and look at the back. You're going to be blown away by the back. Agenhor. Anybody see this watch? This watch release? It's nice, huh? Made by a top watchmaker. I mean, you're getting some horology here. Wouldn't you say? I mean, look at that. Huh? Quite a piece, right? You ready for the price? Wowzers. 30 grand. What do you think? 30 grand. And you can't even get it for another 6 months. What do you think now? 30 G's. I'll tell you, I like the watch. I love the watch. I think I got to tell you, half the money's you're paying for that movement. You got to know you're paying for this movement. They're charging you 15 grand for the movement. You know, 15 grand for, and I think they're overcharging you 15 grand for the case aesthetics design material. Come on. It's a nice watch, man, but 30 grand. You're really gonna have to put a lot of weight into the Agenhar movement, right? A lot of weight would have to go into that. Rob, the founder of Singer in California, and Marco in Geneva, bullshitted on cars, music, and watches, and shared a fascination with mechanical icons, particularly the iconic sport classic chronographs of the late 60s and 70s. From this discussion, an idea was born to create mighty timepieces that would reimagine high watchmaking. It was at this point that a decisive encounter with a third pillar of the collaboration took place. Marco shared his idea for a unique chronograph with famed master watchmaker Jean-Marc Wiederrecht, who was prepared for skepticism. This quickly turned to enthusiasm as Marco unveiled the drawings. Let's pull that screen up there of these guys collaborating together and unveiling their drawings. Here they are. Ooh. That looks like Crafty. Is that Crafty? That's not that knucklehead Crafty, is it? Looks like him. Nothing would have been possible without this team of industry experts who bring together an unparalleled depth and breadth of skill and experience. Man, I'd rather have that briefcase, to be honest. Looks like an audio speaker. Looks like an old audio speaker. I like that. What was that? You know, the Singer Porsches, goodness gracious, they're quite amazing vehicles. All right, let's get off the Singer there and we'll see what you guys think about it. Anybody have any comments about the Singer watch? Oh, thanks, Hisham. You too, man. Have you picked anything up new lately, man? We haven't seen you in a long time. I mean, if you ask me what Hisham's last watch was, bro, I don't even know. I'm going to say Ice Daytona. And that was like a year or two ago, so I don't even know. What's up, John from Florida? Welcome. Lee. What's up, Lee? Oh, you're working. Sure, thanks, Hisham. Man, I emailed the doctor and I said, I ain't waiting for after the holidays. I said, get me on the table before Thanksgiving. Fuck, get me on that table, man. Man, I only get out of the house once a week. Went out and had a few beers with Dangling Wang. When was that? Dangling Wang and I had some beers Friday for happy hour. Thank you, Dangling Wang, for the drinks. Dangling Wang treated me because I gave him a stock tip and he made some money on it. So cool, man. Thank you for the pizza and the pale ale, bud. It was a good time. It was a good time. I don't get that out that often anymore. Where have I been, Joe? Man, I honestly, dude, I don't want to get too much into it, but I've been in pretty bad shape. I can hardly walk. It's very difficult. Whenever I do something, it takes. I'm done for several days. I could only do little activities. When I go out with Dangling Wang, that's the most walking I do at one time, because we park in one part and we walk to the little bar. I usually have it takes me twice as long to walk to the bar as it does to walk out. When I walk out, I could literally walk out without my cane and walk like nothing, because after drinking, you don't feel pain to a certain extent. But my hip's in bad shape, dude. My hip and my back and my foot. My foot's been giving me some mercy for the last week or two. But it's pretty bad, man. Fuck this, fuck die, as Archie Luxury would say. Fuck this, fuck die. Dude, it's so painful. My hip is so painful that I'll isolate myself from my family and just sit here in the garage and just moan and groan and cry for fucking 6 hours. And it's not fair to put my wife and kids through that. So I just sit here and watch YouTube and burn myself out. And chain smoke. At least I don't drink. Not but once a week or once every couple of weeks. I don't drink alcohol. But I love it when I do. Yeah, I'm surprised I don't. It's surprising that I don't drink daily, to be honest. I've tried to do that. I've tried. I just can't do it. I'm not a drinker. I wish I could. I wish I could drink every day. It's not me. Let's see where I was going to pull up here next. My favorite place, European Watch Company, out of Boston. Coming at you out of Boston. World famous for the Boston Tea Party. I'm happy to say that this Havana Platinum looks like they're going up in price. 45 G's. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Just keep on going. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Build in that safety buffer for me. Boy, I can't wait till this watch comes. I can't wait till this. I fucking can't wait for this watch. This watch is the watch for a kingpin. This is a kingpin's watch. Yes. Yes. This is what the Joker would wear from Batman. If it wasn't like some kind of a funky ass triggered watch, Reimagined with the green and the red and the yellow. This is what he would wear to a dinner party. That's a silver dial dipped in a mixture of gold and ruthenium to arrive at that color. That's not paint, that's precious metal. Yes. Yes. When I get this watch, I'll put out a little. Here's what I'll do. When I go pick up this here watch, this here is what I'll do. I'll hold a video over the watch as I'm admiring it, and I'll ask him to narrate a brief about this watch. I want to know everything about it and everything there is to know about it. And I'm going to tell him that I want to record it on video so I can rewatch it 100 times while I'm stroking myself. And yeah, because there's a lot that I don't know about this watch that I'm going to need to know. For example, what are the numerals? Did they scratch away the gold to come up with the white underneath? Or is that painted on? Is that it's probably painted on? Just, what's it made from? What's the secret in the white paint? What is it? How is it different from a Chronometra Blue? Because they're virtually the same watch, other than the paints, the golds. But actually, the Chronometra Blue is a simpler watch. It doesn't have a power reserve, believe it or not. It's just a simple time with the subdial seconds, no power reserve. So that is cool. I mean, you know, I suppose you'd want the Chronometra Blue with a beautiful looking power reserve like this. Why is it shy the power reserve? Did they make the Chronometra Blue with the intention of it being an entry-level piece at $27,000? I don't know what the price is now. It might have gone up since inflation and adjustments and things. But we'll just say $27,000 for a Chronometra Blue without a power reserve. Did they do that to reduce the price? That's another question I'd like to ask. I'll have to watch this video. I'll rewatch this video here that we're doing right now before I go to remind myself all these things. What else do I want to remind myself? Anybody in the chat have any good questions for the boutique while I'm holding this watch in my hand, dealing out the dough? What other questions would I want to ask? How many of these do they expect to make? Will production be projected to be stopped on this watch ever entirely? How many people touched this watch? As in, how many watchmakers worked on it? Was it just one watchmaker? Can you help explain to me, since we've got nothing to do all day anyway, let's help me explain the process of this watch and how it was constructed? Especially during this COVID time, was it made under special circumstances? Maybe this watch, because of when it was produced during this time, handled a little bit differently. Maybe that would have some kind of provenance to recognize. What other questions? Anybody got any other questions I could have for these guys? What's on the wrist? Let me see. I don't know. Daytona. Rolex Daytona. I slept with it. I woke up with it. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe my whole time shift. Because I've been going to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I just can't make it. And, hence, I get up this early. I guess I'm sleeping pretty well. Was that 4 hours, 5 hours? Doesn't work out for me so good right now. Oh, man. There we go. Let's see. Yesterday, I detailed my car. Yesterday, I washed and detailed my car. And the wife and kids went to the park for a bike ride and to go play. And you see, that's where I get bent out of shape. I was over here fuming because, fuming just because of my situation. I can't go to the bike ride with them to the park and shit. So you have to deal with a lot of shit more than just pain and lack of mobility. So I detailed my car. There was a part of the car that I didn't really ever think of cleaning before that really made such a difference in the look of the car. But the inside wheel hub, is that the right? No, not the wheel hub. The inside of the wheel, of the actual wheel itself. Maybe that is what you would call it. No. The inside of the wheel. So if you reach behind the, like behind the spokes, I guess, of the wheel, where the calipers ride, and you clean that all up, it turns from black carbon dust, brake dust, or whatever that is, asbestos, whatever the hell they use, I don't know, to shiny aluminum. And wow, it made a huge difference in the look of the car. Huge difference. Man, I've been scared of this surgery. I've been scared of this surgery, but it's not a hip replacement, at least. So hopefully I'm begging for it now. So at this point, I can't put it off. Well, I haven't been putting it off, but I've been going along with getting injections when I know that it's worse than an injection's going to fix, especially since I did one already and it didn't do shit. And the second one didn't do nothing. So instead of this having a second injection I did a couple of weeks ago, I should have just went straight to the table. And I should have had surgery 2 weeks ago. So that's where I fucked up, is going along with the recommendation of taking another shot. They wanted to put it off until after the holidays. Well, fuck you, man. I want to do it before the holidays. I'm going to sit here, shit fucking curse all through Thanksgiving and Christmas too. All right, let's go to the this watch here. Yeah. I want to take a look at the Omega Snoopy too at some point. Excuse me. You know what? I better crack the garage just a tad. Otherwise, my wife's gonna come in here and freak out. Smoke might lead into the house. Hold on. Do any of you guys got discourteous neighbors? Everybody's got discourteous neighbors, right? My immediate neighbors to my left and to my right are stunningly amazing. Stunningly amazing. They come over. They come over whenever we talk to them over the fence, you know, every other day or daily basis, or whenever we're in the backyards and stuff. And unfortunately, one of them is moving. Fuck. A good neighbor is moving. You know how that scary that is when a good neighbor is moving away? It leaves the possibility of a bad neighbor coming in. Well, and the good thing is that he was a good neighbor for, I don't know, maybe 7 years, 5 years now, 6 years. But he fixed up the house, cleaned it the hell up. So now both houses around me are spick and span. But we have neighbors a couple of houses away that, man, they breed rats. They breed rats in their backyard. One guy does some kind of construction something, and his entire backyard is just pipes and equipment. So you can imagine it's a haven for rats, man. A haven. So yeah, we got to deal with rats. I'm surprised how much of my rat poison gets eaten, put it that way. I've gotten them pretty good, though. I don't see them in my cameras anymore. I used to see them on the cameras every night. You know, the unique feature on this watch is, right, that the power reserve indicator is built directly above the winding mechanism. That's a feat in itself of engineering, patented by Journe. They had to re-engineer their thinking here to do that. I just think it's such an appropriate place for a power reserve. It's going to be so cool to wind that puppy up, and while you're winding it, it's like you're winding it right there, and you're watching it wind up. What a gratifying feel that's going to be. Can you imagine that? Let's harp on that for a second, for a minute. So, you know, you're winding it, and as you're winding it, you're going to see that needle. you're going to feel that needle going up. It's just going to be such a gratifying move. Right? You can see what I mean about that, I think. It's tied directly tied visually. Because it's so close to the crown, it's so perpendicular to the crown, and your hand so close to that mechanism. That means the art of invention below his name, the art of invention. And if you notice something interesting too, there's no indication of it being Swiss on the dial. Isn't that odd? Wouldn't you say that's odd that it doesn't say Swiss on the dial? You notice that the case is one piece with the lugs? I didn't notice that before, to be honest. I only just noticed that right now. Did anybody else notice that ever on this watch? Until I just noticed it, that the lugs in the case are all one. They're not welded on or screwed on. Very pretty, right? My only criticism that I'm noticing right now is I wish they put some kind of insignia on the crown. Would you agree? There should be an FPJ on the crown or something to top that crown off, wouldn't you say? I think so. And then there's that cigar tobacco strap. Leather on both sides. Platinum. Oh, and that's wonderful. It has the easy removable straps. You see the little pushers there? So you can remove the strap and with one gentle push. But how expensive are the end links going to be for me to get an extra pair of end links and another tang buckle? That's what I said I needed to do with my Rolex. Which one? With my Patek. With my Patek Philippe 5196 Calatrava. I need to purchase directly from Patek Philippe another set of end links and a tang buckle so that I could have 2 strap sets on hand. I'm using the chocolate brown strap that it came with as a casual wear, and eventually it will get broken into where it'll even look way more casual wear. So that's what I'm going to eventually try to get it at. But then I want a nice, like something from Aaron Combat Straps to make for that paddock. Once I get the end links and the tang buckle, eventually I'll have Aaron make a strap, some kind of a beautiful over-the-top alligator in blue. After I saw Archie's in blue, I said, man, I think I want a blue strap. That's going to be my blue strap watch. Oh, look at that. The USB, the manual is a USB chip. You see that? These guys already have electronic cards. And not only that, the user manual is a USB chip. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Beautiful boxes. Wow, look at the hinges. Look at the build on the hinge. How solid and heavy construction the hinge is. Oh, there's 4 hinges. Look at that. They don't mess around. Boy, that's where Rolex really cheapens out, is with their boxes, They don't even give you the damn cloth. Although I don't see a cloth here. But somebody used the cloth here. You need one of these, Hisham. Some kind of a Journe. Hisham. Well, that was the first watch. 45,000. So these have been listing here for 43. This is unworn, mind you, 2020. I don't know, unworn, but he played with it a lot because I see a little nick at 12 o'clock, don't you? Unworn, but that's not unworn. It's all scuffed here. You can see, right? A little bit. And there's a mark here. There's 2 marks there. So I'd be hard pressed to say that it's unworn. It might be a 2020, but he wore it hard in 2020. Come on. Wouldn't you guys agree? That was worn all year long. Still though, 45 grand. There you go. All right, let's see what else we got. Longines, 1600. Look at this old Datejust gold stick dial. $6,000. Let's take a look at that. I'm becoming a little bit more intrigued by these vintage Datejusts. Just vintage. You guys know me. I've been in love with the vintage. I've gone into vintage, what was it, a year ago now? And I went crazy on vintage, didn't I? What vintage pieces did I buy? Well, you guys are pretty quiet in the chat. Is the chat working okay? What vintage pieces did I buy? Let's see. This isn't my current collection, but it's pretty close. You know what? I need to upload my current. I need to take a picture of my current collection and upload it. So the only thing different is the bottom right Daytona is gone and would replaced with a 1016. So vintage 1016, the one that replaced the Daytona. I've got the vintage Universal Genève in the first position, upper left. 1950, circa 1950 Universal Genève. I'm never going to get rid of these. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of these. That watch is amazing, that Universal Genève. That's in more unworn condition than the FP Journe that we just looked at. I'm not even kidding you. And then there's the Omega, the 68 Omega. You know, that's the only watch that I want to sell, really want to sell, is the Omega. And the only reason I want to sell it is because I'm scared to wear it. Hearing Clive talk about that dot over 90 bezel, and hearing Archie recently talk about it as well, and the bracelet being so valuable as well. So there's two things special on that Omega: the bezel and the bracelet. The bezel and the bracelet in themselves are worth significant amount of money. If I took that bezel off, I could sell that bezel for $4,000. If I took off the bracelet, well, I bought the bracelet for $2,150. So, you know, the bracelet's worth $2,200, if not more. You're not going to find another one on eBay or anything now. I got the last good one. That's the truth. So, you know, $2,500 for the bracelet, $4,000 for the bezel, you know, $6,500 just in those two pieces alone. Mind you, that doesn't even count the transitional case, dial and all that. So I don't want to wear that watch. I'm scared to wear it. I don't know if you'd consider the day-date President vintage. No, 1999 is 21 years vintage now. 22 years old. Is that vintage? I think it's neo vintage. That's what I would call a watch dated 1999, or this 2004 Daytona that I don't have anymore. I would call that neo vintage. And you know, I don't need a Safe Queen, just like I got rid of the Daytona because I couldn't wear it. I made more money in stocks and Bitcoin than that Daytona would have made me sitting there. If I want to go rebuy that Daytona for a couple of grand more than what I sold it for, I could easily get it back in my collection, and basically that watch would have been like taking a loan on that watch, making money on it, and then buying it back and paying debt costs for, you know, basically selling and rebuying that watch. And there would have been a profit margin far above and greater than the watch would have appreciated. So and it hasn't moved any, but I did sell it for a good price. But you know what I'm saying? I just if it was a white dial, I wouldn't have sold it. And that's why I'm saying it's not wearable. For me, it was not wearable. Why would I wear two black dial Daytonas? It makes no sense. There's no need to put wear on two watches when they're exactly the same looking. So if I'm wearing that black ceramic, it made no sense to ever wear the other black one that, you know, has the shiny, delicate bezel that could be scuffed up, and it'd be a shame to wear it just to wear it, especially when it's worth so much money. So that definitely was not a wearable piece for me. Now, if it was a white dial, regardless of the steel bezel, I would have worn the hell out of it. I would have worn it. I would never sell it because I want a white dial Daytona so bad in my collection. You know, and that's where I messed up, but I didn't know. I had no clue the AD was going to call me to offer me that black dial ceramic. No idea whatsoever. If I knew that, the watch to the right would have been a white dial Daytona, and I would have them both. So it's one of those things. It's a bummer. It is a bummer because I wish I picked up a white dial for the price that I had originally picked up that. You know, I paid $14,200, man. I paid $14,200 for that Daytona. I sold it for $16,000. I sold it for $15,900 because I had to pay shipping. So I mean, that's not a bad little profit for holding it for 11 months. But like I said, I'd rather it be a white dial and still sitting in my box at $14,200, baby. Right? So I mean, if I really want a white dial, I can go pick one up for like 18. You know, I mean, I could do that. I can go pick up a white dial. But I kind of bought the 1016 in instead of with the Daytona money. I bought the 1016 Explorer. So I bought an entirely different watch, and I'm glad I did, because I don't think I would have ever had a 1016 in my collection. The prices on those things have gone up so much, and even the one that I do have, I guarantee you I could sell the watch that I have for 14 grand all day long. So I'm glad I picked it up, and I'm glad I got it. And you know, regardless of Cam, you know, not showing up to sell me the watch and all of that hullabaloo, I do have faith that he knows his watches, and he would never have bought a poor watch for his collection to resell. So, you know, the guy knows his watches. So and the guy at my watch, the guy at the watch repair place that I really like, the Armenian guy, he loved the watch. He was all stoked on the watch when he saw it. He was like, "Oh man, I don't want to service this, man. You don't need to service this if it's keeping perfect time." Just let it run, baby. He said he loved the service dial on it. He said it's just an absolute perfect dial with perfect patina. What else would I want? And I agree. It's the only watch I have that has patina. So as a watch collector, you know, going after patina means big bucks. Big bucks. You guys know that. Patina is the highest appreciating factor that's occurred in a watch of recent. Am I right? Am I wrong? Patina. Bro, I kind of feel like I stole that watch. It was a good deal. I think I should find a bracelet for that 1016, but the thing is it's got to be a good bracelet. I don't want a loosey-goosey one. So I think I'll keep my eye out. If you guys see a period correct bracelet for that 1016 Explorer that I have, 1967/1968, shoot me a link to it, guys, you know, either in the Discord or the Discord or my email. But I'd want the bracelet to be period correct, and this would be a hard request, but for it to be in pretty tight condition. I don't want some ugly bracelet to just stick in the box just to say it has the bracelet. You know, if I ever was going to resell it, why try to recover $1,000 or $2,000 from the bracelet? You might as well make the watch as cheap as possible to whoever's buying it. Most of those 1016s people are wearing don't have bracelets anyway. They didn't make it, right? Is this everything I got in my watch collection? So I think this is it, with the 1016 replacing the Daytona. Everything else has stayed the same. And, you know, because I'm getting the Snoopy Speedmaster, it makes it all that much more easier now for the decision to sell that 68 transitional you see in front of you. So I definitely, I know for the last year I've been going back and forth, but now that I'm getting another Speedmaster, a wearable one that I'm going to wear the heck out of, and I'm not going to flip it regardless of how much it's worth. Now I can get rid of that unwearable collector piece that you see in front of you there. That's what I need to do. I'm definitely going to keep the Universal Genève up on top left. That is such a rare treasure of a find that I found there. I would be a fool to get rid of that. It's unpolished mint. The damn thing is 70 years old. And Universal Genève was the Rolex of that time. 7 years ago, Universal Genève is what the movie stars and the presidents and the elites wore. And you want to talk about a handmade, entirely handmade piece? Well, that's the piece to the upper left. More handmade than the Patek. More handmade than the FP Journe that's coming to me even. Because you gotta understand, right? 70 years ago. Man, is the chat not working? Nobody's talking. 70 years ago. 70 years ago. What watch tools did they have? Were they using AutoCAD back then? I mean, they're using all the hand tools. So in 1950, when they made that watch, they're using all the tools from, you know, the Industrial Revolution, literally. Literally. Maybe even tools from 1890s. Because some of these guys are still using those tools to make these watches. Because they can't reproduce them unless they use the original, all the old shit, right? So to really appreciate, you know, horology, that's a watch I can pull out and just stare at and look at. And it's quite beautiful too. To have a tricolor print dial in the 1950s, it's I think it's a little special, and it's got all the cool features to boot, like the skeleton hands. It does need a service though, so I got to take that puppy in and get it serviced because it falls behind in time. So, you know what's really cool is I've got a few little watch projects in mind now. And the straps have a lot to do with it. The straps have a lot to do with it. For instance, when I get bored, I'm going to be getting end links and a tang for the Patek. And I'll be hitting up Aaron for a custom strap. That's going to be a lot of excitement. A little watch project right there. I've already got one going on right now with the strap for the 1016 and the strap for the Snoopy I don't even have yet. And then another little watch project one day is going to be that Universal Genève up there on the left. One day I'm going to take it in, pay to have it serviced, and I'll commission Aaron to do a beautiful strap for that. I mean, imagine if I did. That's the watch that might want to have the blue strap on it. If I get an over-the-top alligator strap for that Universal Genève, that thing is going to bling. And I'm going to want to wear that like any other watch. I'm telling you. So maybe it's the Universal Genève. I'm gonna bust the over-the-top alligator strap on. What do you think? And on the Patek, I'll do something different. Maybe I'll do something different. I'll look at pictures and maybe I'll do like a lime green. There was a beautiful green that Havana came out recently with in a special edition. It's like a lime green. And I could send Aaron a photo of that and tell him I'd like a strap in that color there for my Patek. So I think for the Patek, I might do something different, unique. But yeah, I'll have a black ostrich on the 1016, a blue over the top, shiny high gloss blue over the top for that Universal Genève, something special for that Patek, something special for the Snoopy. I got something special for the Bluesy already. I'm telling you, the straps are a blast. Hey, what's up, Abdul? How are you? Abdul's got a great channel, by the way. Man, you've got a great voice, Abdul, a great voice, and an unbelievable knowledge of watches, and he has a real knack for making good videos too. And he knows I've been looking at all the straps lately, so I think he made a video about all the different kinds of straps and stuff. I think he made that just for me. And I watched it, and it helped me. It was quite helpful, Abdul, because there was a couple of straps in there that I didn't know what they looked like, and you pulled them up and you flexed them a little bit, moved them around. You know, you flex the straps so I could see how rigid they are, and it helped out. That video really actually helped out, buddy. Abdul says, straps are awesome. They change the look on watches and also make it fun to have a strap for every occasion. Yeah, you've got a hell of a lot of straps. It's amazing, the straps, how much fun you can have with straps. I'm not lying when I tell you it's like doubling up your watch collection. You know, if you have a new strap for every watch, it's literally like doubling up your watch collection. As a matter of fact, so you guys know I took the Hulk in. What happened to my Hulk? Let's go through the whole story of the Hulk from when I first bought it. So I bought my Hulk in 2017. So it has a 5-year warranty. Rolex is 5-year warranty, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Rolex is 5-year warranty. So the thing's still insured for, it's still warranted for 2 more years from Rolex. Very cool, right? Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. And 3 months, 9 weeks after I bought the watch in 2017, my Hulk, I went to the Aquarium of the Pacific with the family, and I was standing in line, and I dragged my watch bezel across the rough stone, the rough cement stone of the wall. And what it did, if you can see my pointer here on the screen, you see between the bezel and the sapphire crystal where I'm outlining here where I'm running the cursor, there's a thin aluminum strip. So if you take any of your Submariners, ceramic subs, and you look between the bezel and the glass, you're going to see a thin aluminum or stainless metal strip. I don't know if it's aluminum or stainless. It's one or the other. And nothing happened to the bezel. Nothing happened to the sapphire crystal. But that little aluminum strip got all wrinkled. And you could see the wrinkle in between the bezel and the sapphire. You could see the wrinkle. And so I took it to them, and they said, "Oh man, this ain't covered by Rolex warranty." And I said, "Well, shit, what can you do, man? Help me out here. What's something like this going to cost?" And they found out it was going to cost about $1,100 to repair it. Yeah. So anyway, I said, "Well, whatever it costs, it doesn't matter. You know what?" I said, "I have a good idea. Whatever it costs." I said, "Maybe you guys can help me out." I said, "Sell me the full cosmetic warranty on the watch as though I bought it. Can you do that for me?" So he had to make a couple of phone calls, and he got it approved. So they sold me the $720 full cosmetic warranty on the watch. That means if I took the watch right now and I willfully banged it and damaged it and told them, my kid did that, they would either fix or replace the watch. Well, they couldn't replace it now because they don't make them anymore, but they would fix it. Full cosmetic warranty. So they sent it to Rolex, and then I got a phone call saying Rolex is going to replace your watch instead of fixing it. That way you don't have to wait. So I'll have the watch here pretty soon. I'll call you when you can come pick it up. And I honestly didn't remember that conversation because I was in so much pain. I don't even remember that conversation happening. But I went in and picked up a brand new Hulk. Different serial number and everything. But when I took off the bracelet and I put on my rubber B, I decided to experiment with the Oyster Glide lock mechanism, and I took it apart myself. And that didn't work out so well for me. It fell apart in many little pieces that I couldn't put back together. I tried for a good hour or two, and I couldn't put it back together. And neither could my AD. So they sent it back to Rolex to have Rolex put together the bracelet. And Rolex put together the bracelet and sent me back the watch. No charge. So that warranty came out handy. It came out handy just recently, which the warranty just expired because it was a 3-year warranty. That expires at the end of this month. I took that to my watchmaker guy, and he wanted $165 to put the bracelet back together. $165. So that warranty saved me $165 on top. So I felt good about spending that money. Captain Danny says, I'm betting that the patina of today's Rolex maxi cases will be polished lugs because polished lugs means more tapered lugs, so it'll look better. You know, that's a bummer, Captain, about the modern watches from any brand. The lack of the use of the old superluminova techniques, tritium dials and such, that was the single greatest deteriorating factor. And the most attractive feature of a vintage watch, that's the most attractive patina, is that the luminescence discoloring. You know, I don't know why they got rid of that. Was it because of the radioactive element? Really? I mean, the half-life on those were enough to, you know, they're all faded now anyway, right? So how much damage to your health could they have really caused? I don't know if that was, or maybe it was because the workers were dealing with it. That's probably what it is. That just came into my mind right now. It probably had to do with the people putting together the watches and their exposure to the tritium, right? Because they still use tritium, but in a different form. My ball watch there in the drawer there has the most amazing tritium gas bulbs, gas tubes. And I'm just see if I'm can find a picture of that. Let me show you guys what the tritium looks like on the ball watch, because it's quite stunning, to be honest. The tritium on the ball watch, I think, is the most tritium of any watch that's out there. So the limited edition ball watch I have, I think it has the most tritium and the most lume of any watch. I want to say that exists. I think I have the most lumed watch you can get. I think, I'm pretty sure. Let me pull it up so I can show you and someone can agree or dispute that with me. How does this work? Is that showing up there? Cool. So, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's bright. And, you know, you don't need to charge it. You don't need to charge it. This is how it is all the time. So in the dark, it's full glow, full time, baby. And I mean, look at every single thing is lit. The every single thing is lit. There's little glass tubes on every single thing you see here that's lit. Those are glass tubes. It's actually quite amazing. This is a great astronomer's watch. You know, if you're looking at the moons and the stars, and you're in the dark out there with your telescope, I can't think of a better watch than this one here. this would be the best watch for a telescoper, man, for an astronomer. Wouldn't you agree? I'm glad I'm pulling this watch up. I'm falling in love with it all over again. Valjoux 7750. What's not to love? Let me see if I have a picture of the tubes, because the tubes are quite interesting looking. That's the back of the watch. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, let me remove this and see if I can find the picture real quick, and then we'll move on. I was looking at a picture of the tritium tubes the other day. Let's see here. I think I had it in a different. I have a really good picture up close of the tritium tubes that I took. I'll look for it for another second or two here. Find it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Do you guys know what it looks like when they put the tritium gas tubes and they set them on the indices and on the hands? You guys know what it looks like? I'm going to bring up a close-up shot of it, a macro shot. There we go. I found the macro shot. Beautiful. We found it. We found it. We found it. Okay, I took some macro shots here. Bada-bum, 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 bum, bum. All right, baby. Wee-wee. Awesome loom. The best thing about tritium is that it doesn't need light to start lighting it up. Yes, sir. Sylvan Terry says, awesome channel. I think you'd appreciate my buddy's channel's cigar review show. Cool, man. Thank you, Sylvan. I'll check it out. I like that one guy's channel. Oh, man, I haven't watched it in a while. Boozer turned me on to the guy that smokes cigars in his barn or something. Doesn't he have like a barn or something he smokes his cigars in? Rolex sees patina as a weakness, not an asset. Lee says they're always improving things incrementally. Yeah. They used to put tritium paint. Ball uses the tritium tubes. Awesome way to show loom. Right. Tritium paint. That's what it was, right? Mason. Hey, what's up, Mason? Says, I'm considering a cognac alligator with padding and French patina from Combat Strap Aaron's Bespoke for my Blue Dial Navitimer. Emailing him later today after I finish work to get a quote. Nice. Cognac alligator with padding and French patina. Man, that sounds amazing. That sounds great. GB, I'll come back to your question, GB. let's see here. Let me just show you guys the lume on this real quick. Okay, it's difficult to navigate this thing. Here we go. So you can see the tubes, especially here. So there's a tube on every single piece. Every single second track, there's tubes. You can see them. Look at the inside track. This watch is amazing because it's got two scales. So on the top bezel, you can see it's got the tachymeter for speed, for clocking speed, right? And then you've got the telemeter scale. That one you don't ever see. And it's the coolest function because basically what happens is, what comes first? The thunder or the lightning? I don't remember. You see the flash first, right? You see the lightning flash first, and then you hear the thunder after that, right? So what you do is, when you see the flash of a lightning strike, that's what this is for. When you see the flash of a lightning strike, you start the chronograph. And then when you hear the sound of it, you stop it. And like, see where it's at right now? If it stopped there at 2.1, then that's telling you it's 2.1 kilometers away. That's how far the lightning strike is. I mean, how cool is that? I think that's the coolest. How often is anybody going to use the damn tachymeter for racing laps? I mean, I don't think any of us use that for anything. The pulsometer for checking your heart rate, I don't think anybody uses that either, but that's more functional than the tachymeter. But for fun purposes, I think the telemeter scale is the most fun out of all of them. I really do. I think it's neat. I think it's totally neat. Oh, there you go. You can really see it here. This is a really clear shot. Wow. Really clear shot. There you can see all the tubes, tritium tubes sitting on top of all the pieces. There you go. See that? Wow, that's a clear shot. And these are all tubes too as well. They're white, painted, but the lume comes through them. Those are all gas filled. I mean, isn't that amazing? It's totally amazing. I think it's so cool. You know, for a ball watch, the quality isn't that bad here, you know? The detail is pretty dang good, man. Got to tell you. Look how up close I am here, and the watch doesn't look so bad, man. Yeah, pretty amazing. Man, look at, for the price, you can't really say much is bad about this watch. Could the hands be cleaner? Sure. You know, I had this watch serviced once, so maybe someone touched the seconds hand. And so maybe it started getting patina there because maybe someone touched it. I don't know. But hey, or maybe that's just the way it is, but it's not bad. PVD. Good looking watch. Screw down pushers, waterproof. Ball is very similar to Zen. Both great quality for the money. Did you see the new Zen 103 STG and R500 releases? No, I did not. Oh, the chronograph, definitely for cooking and sure. Especially when boiling eggs. Cool. I don't think you can regas the tritium, but you'd have to change the dials. Who knows if that would be possible? This is a limited edition, you know. Do they have replacement dials for these? Could I buy one now so that in the future, when the tritium is gone in 20 years, 25 years, that I can replace it? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it would be too expensive to get a replacement dial. I think this is a watch that I'll just enjoy and, you know, pass down to my kids. This would be, of all the watches I got, this would be something, you know, the kids would probably wear first. You know, a teenager isn't going to want to wear the Rolex or any of the other watches I own, but they might wear the Doxa, and they would for sure wear this. I would say this would be the first to go to watch for a younger kid or a teenager out of my collection. So GB saying, his AD called. My AD called and said I can get a new Explorer II on Tuesday. What's your opinion on that watch? I currently have a sub Tudor GMT and a Speedy Man on the Moon. The black dial or the white dial? Or do you have a choice? Abdul says, I think if you like big GMT watches with fixed bezels, then go for it. I'm a fan of the older 40 mil Explorer 2s and the 3639 Explorer 1s. I think they're great looking watches. If I needed a white dial, I need a white dial watch, and if I had some extra money, some extra Bitcoin money to blow, I would be a buyer of the Explorer 2 Polar. I love that watch. I think it's a great looking watch. Just for the heck of it, I've also been checking out the black dial Explorer 2. Not that I'm going to be buying one soon, but I was looking at them, and I think they're both amazing looking watches. I think if you want the black dial, go for that one. If you want the white dial, go for that one. I don't think you can go wrong, buddy. They're nice looking watches. Yeah, and the size is good for an 8-inch wrist. They're bigger watches. You don't want to go vintage with an 8-inch wrist. So yeah, you're good. Unless there's something else you really want instead, that much more, and you want to wait or pay a premium. But man, if you're being offered that, what did you say you have already? You've got a sub. So this will be your second Rolex. Yeah, I think you'd have fun with a second Rolex. A second Rolex is always is as much enjoyable as the first. I don't think you'll go wrong with that, bud. The new one is a 42. Is that what it is? Man, that's a big watch. Is it 42? Let me pull it up. Rolex.com. Watches. Rolex. What am I looking up? I'm having a brain fart. Brain aneurysm. Explorer. Explorer II. $8,350. $8,350. Let me pull it up on the screen here with you guys. Stop, share. Bum, bum, bum. $42. Wow. They haven't improved the power reserve on this one, huh? I'll be right back. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, I think you're good with either one of these, man. The black or the white. I like it. The black one's actually, the black one's a good looking watch. The black one's really sharp looking. Yeah, I wish FP Journe put some kind of insignia on the crown. That's a pretty good price for a 5170, isn't it? 48,000. Wow, look at the Nautilus. Still commanding a high premium. Wow, that's a stunning Universal Genève. Wow. 12.5 for a tri-compact. That's beautiful. That is amazing. You see how beautiful Universal Genève is? Look at that. Oh, bros, 12.5. I love these. I love these. 1950. 1950. This is the same. This is like my watch, except it's got all these other beautiful functions. Wow. And it cost a hell of a lot more than mine did. Wow. That thing's amazing. Remember what I was saying. I mean, this is handmade. I mean, this is as handmade as you can get. And you can tell too. I mean, look at that. Look how pretty. Wow. When you realize this is 70 years old and the marquee is sharp as the date was printed. Oh, that's what I need right there for my Universal Genève. I'm going to have to get a gold buckle. You see that? I need to get a gold buckle. So that's going to be quite an upgrade right there. Gold buckle and a strap from Combat. $500 for the gold buckle, right? So I need to get a 20 millimeter gold buckle. Beautiful. 37.5 millimeter too. And mine's 37. I mean, the size is great for a watch from 1950 to be 37, 37 and a half. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. I bet you like that, huh, Abdul, as a vintage watch? Yeah. Totally. Let's see what else they got. Vacheron, 29,000. See, I'd rather get this than a new one because the new ones are so darn expensive. But look here, 29,000. You can get a solid gold chronograph function. I mean, that's the equivalent to the 5170. There's my Submariner. 11,002 for a dated one. 13,400 for a brand new one. Man, I'm telling you, that's some good appreciation on my sub right there. I paid $9,800 when I bought that thing. That's an interesting looking Grand Seiko. That's one of the nicer Grand Seikos right here. I like this one with this ivory dial. President, white gold, 43,500. Pricey. There's an Explorer II on hold. Let's see what it went for. 9,250. And that's, before any negotiated price. 9,250. So if you're paying 8,350 and let's say you're paying tax, then that would be about $9,000, right? So this is about $250 over premium plus tax for a couple years old. So $900 over list, what they're selling it for here. My medicine is still holding up, man. I still feel pretty good right now. My medicine is still holding up. We'll go for a little longer, all right? Man, it's crazy. I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about, but just dealing with pain is just one of those. It's just crazy. Boy, the best looking watch when you're scrolling. I'm going to be honest here now, including the Journe here on the left. When you're scrolling here, what's the best looking watch? Come on, don't lie to me. The best looking watch when you're scrolling. Come on now. Is this one right here. That's the best looking one of all of them. That's the best looking watch of all of these watches. I mean, it blows them all away. Man, that is absolutely stunning. And they're not making more of those. Gee, man, there's no way. That's just so beautiful. And I mean, it's a heavy duty complication. It ain't no light punter. Day, date, month. What else we got? That Gerard Perdeau's a nice looking watch. Oh, it's a world timer. That's a nice looking world timer right there. That's a great looking watch. Odd placement for the date. At 1 o'clock. It looks nice. That's a pretty clean, usable world timer. I don't know much about these guys, but I'm pretty sure they're in-house. Right? That is amazing. 200 grand. Salmon dial. Tourbillon sovereign. Remontoire platinum. That is stunning. I like this one. Wow, do they want a lot of money for that? That's such a modern looking piece. That piece will never age. 20, 30 years from now, this piece will never age because it just got such a modern, steel dial, like the dial is steel or whatever it is. Roger Dubuis. Panerai. Faux patina. The Vulcane's been sitting here for a while, hasn't it? Poor guy. I mean, what else do you want? Presidents wear the damn thing. It's 42 millimeter. That would work great on an 8-inch wrist. And it's a gold watch. $4,600. And I got to say, the marquee is beautiful. I love the Vulcane marquee because it looks good. And the Vulcane is the watch of presidents. It's the watch of presidents. It's in mint too, mint condition. Silver dial. Wow, that probably looks amazing. You can't see the silver dial really in this picture. Silver sunburst dial. It looks sunburst. I bet this thing blings. Man, if I was in that dollar range watch market, that would probably be my solid gold watch. I'd be proud to wear that. I'm not shitting you. That would be my dress watch. Solid gold. I know presidents wear them. I would have no issue with that watch. It's beautiful. It's a lot better looking than this hideous looking Octo Finismo next to it. Vacheron World Time. You know, I don't like these because they just so confusing. I mean, what am I looking at? It's too much. I'll tell you what I really don't like about a lot of these world timers. I hate the upside down reading. If you got to read the damn watch upside down, it's useless. I don't want to read the location of Sydney upside down. It's useless. It's junk. It's junk. This is where the Lange World Time watch comes into play as the best, the only good world timer on the market. You know what? I like the Patek one too, because you can push the button and move it. You can push the button and move the time zone. But you ain't moving no time zone on the Vacheron. It is where it's at. You know that, right? On this Vacheron, you're not moving nothing. You got to read the time upside down. It's jacked. It's jacked. It's not like that with the Patek. The Patek, you move it and move it to the right time. So the Patek kicks ass. We're not going to shit on the Patek, the inventors of the world time. So, but the Vacheron one, yeah, this one's junk. I like this. The white gold Vacheron chronograph right here. That watch is amazing. You know, other than adding a Vacheron simple dress piece, simple three-hander, if I was going to go up a level, it would be this right there. White gold chronograph, traditional, right there. That's the 5170 of the Vacheron. That's the equivalent to the Patek, the first one up here. Where's the Patek? Right there. That's equivalent to this. That's equivalent to this. Where did we go? Oh, right there. Milgas 8900. Wow, these nipple dials have gone up. These root beers have gone up. I think I've seen this here before. What's the specs on this King Midas? 28 millimeter. That's a cool looking watch. I'm not gonna lie. That's different, man. But is that a lady's watch? How big is that? 28. That's small, right? Too small. So cool, though. So cool. All right, I think we're almost done here. That's about all she wrote. We'll just scan through the rest of these. Check out the comments. Yeah, that Universal Geneva is sexy, huh? What's up, Super Neutron? The Vacheron. The Vacheron is a yep, 47192. You're right. Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I can feel the hip coming on, so we're gonna roll one more cigarette, smoke it, and be done. This looks fun. What is that? Let's look at this beautiful thing while we're waiting for me to roll. Right? That's beautiful. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what do I need here? All my tools, all my stuff. All my tools, all my stuff. I know some of you guys have gotten hip replacements, but has anybody ever gotten surgery in the labral? In the labral? I don't even know what it is. I think they call it the cam joint. The labral. They're going to go in and shave off some excess bone and look for bone chips that might be floating around and stuff. There's a labral tear. And it's clicking when I walk. And it hurts like a motherfucker. Doesn't let you walk. All right, let's get this bad boy twisted up. Look at this watch. What is this thing? It's beautiful, isn't it? What has it got on this thing? It's got the day, the month, the date, the moon. It seems like it says it's a perpetual calendar, doesn't it? Oh yeah, there's at 3. You see at 3 o'clock. Is that a perpetual indicator or a day night? I think that's the perpetual indicator. Maybe it's telling you that when it goes solid red, you're going into a leap year, right? And that moves in quarters. I'm kind of guessing. I don't think that's a day night. It doesn't look like a day night because it would either be one color or the other. That's got to be some kind of a progressive leap year indicator, but it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Ooh, look at that. You know, some great watch for the price. The Universal Genève, I think, is a great watch for the price. Oh, man. There we go. What is this? I mean, even they have some insignia on the crown. I'm a little disappointed FP Journe doesn't have something on the crown. It looks rather bland. That's one of the favorite words from that chef. What's that chef's name? The British guy. The English guy. The English chap. I love his shows. I've been watching a lot of those videos on YouTube lately. Kitchen Nightmares. And he always wears a Breitling. Or an Omega, I think, too, right? But I always see him wearing Breitlings. That chef from Kitchen Nightmares. I like that guy. He cusses up a storm when they piss him off, doesn't he? Ooh, look at that strap. Look at that strap. I like beautiful straps like this. I love straps like this. They add so much character to a watch, don't they? Man, you know what? I'm taking a picture of this. You know why? Because this strap color and texture and everything looks so perfect for like the Havana. Just to keep it in mind on record for the future if I ever need to change straps or get a new strap. That actually looks really good. I like how thick the strap is. Just massive. Genevois. The French make such beautiful words. That thing is massive. That's an awesome watch. Crocodile strap. I'm not gonna lie, that's a magnificent watch, man. You guys like that? Bling bling, man. Bling bling. It's an art piece, yeah, isn't it? It's a perpetual, yeah. It's not bad. The price was actually freaking amazing for a perpetual, right? Look, 22 grand. Oh, I thought it was less, but still 22 grand for some high horology, man. That's some high horology right there. Gordon Ramsay, yeah. Like that guy. He wears a 5513, really? And a 50s Explorer on his new shows? Oh, wow. Oh, where do I go to grid here? All right, we're going to wrap up with last few watches here. Let's see what I got. There's the new 41 millimeter sub date, 14.9. You know, we haven't seen the new watches listed here in a while. Like I haven't seen a new sub here for a while, or a Kermit or anything like that, right? They've had this beautiful 5513 up here for a while. Nobody's taken a bite on it yet. Someone bought the older Havana. Oh, there's a white dial Daytona. How much? 21. Shit. I mean, even if they gave that to me at 19, then I'd be paying a $3,000 premium to have switched from my black to my white dial. I mean, I could do it. I made money on the money, so it just depends on how you look at things. I could probably look and find one cheaper elsewhere, probably just a couple of thousand more than what I sold my other one for. And that wouldn't be a bad hit at all. I mean, if I paid 18 for one of these and I sold my black dial for 16, so if I'm paying a $2,000 difference to get into a white one, and look, it could be much newer than the one that I had. This is a 2015. Mine was a 2004, so I can get into a white one, much better condition, and I could probably get into one for about 18. It's probably worth it. I made a good move getting rid of that, and the person who bought it made a good move buying it. It was a good move both ways. I just wish it was a damn white dial. And a solid gold Rolex 34.9. And we'll end it with it. We'll end it there, folks. Thank you for joining me in the Twilight Hour. It was a lot of fun. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. All right. Talk to you later. See you guys later on the Archie Show. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah, in the white dial. Well, you know, I went with the black dial. You know, the black dial is the hot one when it comes to the steel bezel. The white one is the hot one when it comes to the ceramic bezel. But when it comes to the steel bezel, everybody wants the black one. And that's why I got it. I just thought it was the more masculine one. Just I thought it was overall better looking. That's why I got it. But hell, I didn't know I was getting a ceramic one the next week after. Because now I want the white dial. So I think it's just a question of, we want both. All right, guys, be good. Peace.